Well, well, well. It's the weekend. Time to hire it done. Good morning, everyone. My name's Adam Helfman. In the pilot chair today, sitting in the co-host seat, Sarah Sells. What up?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How was your week?
It was great.
Really?
And it was really busy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me a little. What means busy to you?
Just got back from down south, from Mississippi.
MISSISSIBBI.
Yeah, exactly. Could have stayed another 4 months. It was so beautiful. Got to see my besties, do a little bit of work. It was great.
Absolutely nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, now it's time for some home improvement. Okay.
Yeah. Let's
So
get
for
started.
all my friends who are listening and all the new listeners today, this is the Home Improvement Radio Show that teaches you, the homeowner, how to fix, repair, or remodel everything within the four corners of your lot.
Everything.
However, it's not a do-it-yourself show, and I feel like I'm shrinking. No, it's not a do-it-yourself show, but remember, Sarah,
There's
we're
some
not
things.
anti-do-it-yourself, right?
Yeah, there's some things.
Right. So, hopefully, we'll give some good advice to everyone, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to end up doing. So let's go through a couple things this morning. All right. Sarah, don't you own a house?
A couple.
You know, every once in a while I get emails requesting information on flipping homes. I want to talk about that today. But also people who say, I want to buy income properties.
Yeah.
And so as a landlord, there's a new bunch of responsibilities because if the toilet in the middle of the night plugs or is running or there's a flood,
Guess what?
you got to call the landlord, right?
Yep.
So you own a house, right?
Yeah, a couple.
Right. So you have one for like income property or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we get the calls and the text messages for sure. Hey, guess what? I'm locked out.
Oh, I bet.
Hey, guess what? This broke.
Yeah, but
That broke.
So do you have like rules for that kind of stuff?
You know, I've been really lucky. I have some really great tenants for sure. So they've never been like a 3 a.m. kind of call, but it happens. I mean,
Yeah, okay. So it's wintertime, and this is usually when pipes freeze, roofs leak,
right.
stuff happens around your house. So I compiled a list while you were gone on maintenance tips for landlords.
Okay.
So that's what I want to talk about.
Sounds good.
So a couple things I was thinking about. First thing, and this is in the perspective of a landlord, okay? And by the way, before we get all this right now, I want to say today's also shout out Saturday.
Yeah.
So everybody who's listening, text us 248-539-9797. We'll give you a shout out. If you're an essential worker or any kind of contractor listening to the show, we like to say hi. The other thing is, if you have a question that Google can't answer, we'd like to help you when it comes to home improvement because
We would.
I like to try and be stumped. Like a lot of people try and say, "Oh, Adam, what do you do about this?" And they try and mess around. But I feel like
we
we're
get some
pretty
good
good.
questions.
Well, I love that's what I want. I want
Yeah.
good questions. So if you have a question, 248-539-9797, text us and we'll get back with you. But right now we're talking about how to tip if you're a landlord. So the first thing I would say is review your contract with your tenant.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, no brainer.
And the thing is
Before you get into the contract.
well, even now, because let's say
Yeah.
you've had a renter for a couple of years or something and you forget, sometimes it's good to review. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times homeowners or landlords hire a management company to handle stuff, and the management company gets paid a fee to do that, or you do it yourself.
Yep.
And so you got to make sure. So the other thing is snow removal. So some people who live in houses don't have snow removal, and some do.
Right. This is huge. Obviously, from a lawsuit perspective,
Right.
with somebody falling, not even snow removal, Adam, but salt. Like, so easy. Bucket of salt, or I know some people like the more natural stuff.
Well, listen, it's the pet-friendly stuff and the concrete-friendly stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about salt melters another time.
Okay.
But my point is, so find out whose responsibility it is, and usually I'd rather be the landlord's. And the other one is because snow can damage the house.
Yes.
You talked about it from a liability standpoint, which is even more important. You definitely don't want Mike Morris calling you
Right.
You know, slip and fall, and the next thing you know, whoops.
Never a good phone call for sure.
Did I ever tell you I went to college with him?
Yeah, I think, we talked about that on a couple other shows.
He bullied me. We'll talk about that another day.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, but he's a good guy. But shout out to Bobby Grimes. Thanks, Bobby. You know Bobby?
I have not met Bobby yet.
Okay. So snow removal, we got renew the contract. What about cleaning the gutters and downspouts?
Huge.
If you own the house, if the gutters are clogged, water and ice builds up and ruin your roof. It leak back into the house and becomes a disaster.
Nightmare.
You don't want that.
No.
Okay. What about if you have a window? Do you have an air conditioning unit in your window in any of your houses, or you have full air AC?
One of the houses did have an air conditioning unit, but I decided that this spring I'll probably go with the split unit.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you got to clean those. Make sure that those are winterized. Remember, these are winter tips.
That's a really good point, Adam, because so many houses that I show, you know, these things are just sitting there in the corner. I would have never known that you need to winterize those.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We got a few more. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll finish those. My name's Adam Helping with Sarah Sells today. Yes. This is Hire It Done, and we'll be right back.
When it comes to buying a home, they say cash is king. But you're a queen, and that's just as powerful. You're armed with a verified approval from Rocket Mortgage. Sellers know your offer is good, so your bid has the strength to compete with cash offers. Now grab your crown and rule. That castle is yours. So when you need an edge in the bidding war, Rocket can.
Hey everyone, it's Adam Helfman from HireItDone.com. So you've got a roof leak, now what? Well, let me tell you what you need to do. First thing you have to have is an idea of how old your roof is. A lot of people who bought a house, the roof's been on there for years, you don't know. So the first thing is you need to identify how old your roof is. And that's going to play a part later on. So if you've had your roof done by a previous contractor that you know, reach out to him and ask him how to make a warranty claim, or have them come out and inspect the roof and see if they can fix the leak right then and there. Now, a lot of people don't know about warranties. There's two types of warranties. There's the manufacturer warranty and the contractor's warranty. The best warranty, obviously, is from the contractor, because that's the person who installed it. If you ever read the fine print on a warranty from a roofing manufacturer, you're going to get lost in a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. In fact, there are contractors out there who will tell you that the roofing warranty is not worth the paper it's written on. So my opinion, and from my experience, it's better to go to the contractor who installed the roof and ask him about his warranty. There's where you're going to get the faster and quicker service. So what happens if your roof doesn't have coverage from the warranty? What do you do now? Well, that's where you call a roofing contractor who should be certified by the manufacturer, who can come out and assess the damage and also provide you with a solution. Not always are they going to say that you need a brand new roof. They may say it's flashing, or they can replace a few shingles. So you've got to ask the roofer before he comes out, do you do roof repairs? That's an important question. So most homeowners, when they have a roof leak, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, oh boy, I think I have to replace my whole roof. And that's not a small investment. A roof is quite expensive. So if you do need a new roof, you need to make sure that you know that you really do. Are your shingles worn out? Are they curled? Are they old? Are there missing granules? Are there bald patches on your roof? Those are items that you need to look for to make sure that you really do need a new roof. Now, if you find a great roofer and he gets up there and shows you pictures and walks you through the process of a new roof, you'll know right away if you need a new roof. So if you find a leak in your house, guess what? It's pretty simple. You can leave a comment below or visit HireItDone.com. Click on Ask Adam. I'll personally answer your roofing question. And if you think you need a new roof and you want to find great contractors, HireItDone.com has the best roofers in the business. So remember, the best roof is the one that's installed properly.
What you don't know can hurt you. HighReturn.com.
Welcome back. This is Hard Time. My name's Adam Helfman. We got Sarah Sells in this morning. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Awesome. It was a little cold. It was like 10 degrees when I left this morning.
It is a little
Right?
chilly.
Thank God I got a heater in my garage.
Oh gosh.
Right? My garage was a toasty 52 degrees.
Oh, I can see that.
McAllister Fence is listening. Shout out to them. Good morning, McAllister Fence.
Good morning.
Yep. So that's a good thing. Tell them thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
So we're talking about if you're a landlord and you've got the responsibility of taking care of the house. So the other thing is and this is, maintenance tips for the winter for landlords, right?
Yeah.
But this applies to everyone as a homeowner. Inspect the furnace.
Definitely.
Like, that's a big one. In the middle of winter, the furnace goes out and there's no heat, emergency, blah, blah, blah. You pay the heat bill usually, or the utilities. Well, it depends on the thing. But, that DTE protection plan really works.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're talking about inspect the furnace. I literally just called a contractor this morning because of one of the wall furnaces in one of my houses is not working.
Dude, I hope you call the hired done contractor.
It was.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Shout out to my girl who I miss, Kathy Buchanan. She's listening. If you want great flooring, Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
Right, Metro Floors. She's in Westland.
For the next house, I'll give her a shout.
Yeah, independent carpet one.
Well, I redid my own floors.
Really?
Nightmare.
Okay. Well, Kathy Buchanan is where we got to bring her on. I want you to meet her.
Okay. I'd love to meet Kathy.
Yeah, she's legit, the real deal. So, inspect your furnace is one of the things. Now, remember, keeping a furnace that works all the time for a landlord or for a homeowner or a renter is important. Now, what about insulating pipes, Sarah? What do you think about that?
I can imagine this is a huge thing to do. I don't think a lot of people think about this.
Well, here's the thing. You went away for a week, right? Let's say you had your own home. The bottom line is people don't realize if we get freezing weather like we have today, 10 degrees, if you have a draft under your sink or an overhang window or something where there's pipes underneath, guess what happens? You have a frozen pipe and you're out of town, your house bursts, and you come home to 6-8 feet of water in your basement.
Growing up, Adam, my grandma and grandpa always opened up the cupboard doors wherever their pipes were. Obviously, they had galvanized pipes. And they always used to tell me, make sure that you let it drip, Sarah. And now, I'm like, oh, thank God I learned this stuff growing up. It makes total sense.
Well, let me just say this. Absolutely great idea. Warm air migrates towards the cold. It's science, right? Like they say heat rises. What it is the science of that is that the heat travels towards the cold. So if it's cold under your cabinets and you leave the doors open, the heat from the house will migrate in there.
Yep.
So you need to do that. And the reason why they say leave the water dripping, you know why?
The constant flow.
Right. So here's the thing. So the deal here is that like a river doesn't freeze. Why does a river not freeze? Because the water's always moving, constant flow.
Yeah.
So you don't have frozen pipes. Now, I tell people leave the water running like a pencil thickness. The thickness of a pencil.
Really?
And the reason why I say that is because that's enough. Dripping water can freeze, but solid running water, not a full open, but a pencil thickness, that won't freeze your pipes. And you only need to do it, by the way, in one faucet.
Sink.
Try to do the sink the farthest away from the meter because the pipes around the whole house.
Oh, great tip.
And it keeps water, running that way. So that's one of those things that you want to do. Now, what else is there like around the outside? Chimneys, fireplaces, on the outside and inside. Trees and branches.
Yeah, no brainer.
Yeah. How about roof repairs for sure?
Yeah.
It's always one that you got to watch out for. So anyways, that's just my my tips for landlords as it is. But
I like
anyways,
it.
so homeowners, what's on your home improvement list? Today's shout out Saturday. So if you're a contractor, essential worker, or anyone listening to the show, text us 248-539-9797. We'll give you a shout out. If you have a question Google can't answer, we'll give you the answer. And if you need a contractor, I think we got great contractors.
We do. We have
Right?
some amazing contractors.
Shout out to Adam Wood in his house. Good first name. Adam, do you know Adam Wood?
No.
These people are making, I'm thinking, okay, Sarah's on the show now. These guys are like, yeah.
No. Stop.
Okay. LOL Adam.
Oh, this is a good one.
I have an Airbnb in Sault Ste. Marie. A guest plugged the toilet last winter, and I had to call my mother, who lives in the Sioux, to go fix the problem. That was the funniest part. I didn't have a plunger in the home, so if it was a success, $99 a night, and it was always full. Bought the house in June and sold the house in December, 28% more than I purchased. Good for you, man. Get the money, Joe in Harbor Springs. Hey, Joe, I got a house in Harbor Springs on Lake Michigan. It's up there, so you could have called me, but I wasn't going to be up there. Anyways, the one, listen, plugged toilets are not the responsibility of the landlord.
No. I technically, yeah. Always have a plunger. Drano.
M80s. Or if you have a toilet like me. See, there's two toilets that don't plug, okay? The Toto toilets never plug.
Oh, here
you know?
we go.
And then the Kohler Newbie.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole toilet segment.
Oh, I can't wait.
Legit. Okay, so do you ever do anything yourself, Sarah?
Yes.
You know what number one question I get on do it yourself or hire it done?
What?
And this is a segment of the show we're going to bring back called DIY versus HID. Do it
Okay.
yourself versus hire it done.
I like it.
Hire it done is a new category. Well, we invented the category, but we're the opposite of do it yourself. But
Yeah.
people always say to me, I want to do my own tile. Have you ever done tile work?
I attempted it and then it wasn't going swimmingly, so I abandoned ship.
Really? Okay. Well, let me just say to you that the majority of people who try to do things themselves ends up screwing it up or hiring a pro to finish it.
I did redo my hardwood floors. It took a couple of tries, but they turned out great.
I have some great hardwood floor contractors. You ever heard of Brano? My man Brano?
No.
Brano Wood Floors. He's a rock star. Okay, so real quick. There's three things that I believe are important when you're doing it yourself.
Okay.
Okay? Or whether you're going to decide whether to hire a pro or do it yourself.
All right.
Money, time, and quality.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the three.
Yeah.
So, do you have the time to do it? Great. Do you have the money to do it? If you have the money to do it, you should hire it done. But if you don't have the money to do it, maybe you do it yourself. Sarah, what would you give yourself a rate for an hourly? What would be your hourly rate?
Oh, boy. After redoing some of these things in this last house, I would probably say definitely in the 30s.
$30 an hour?
Yeah, somewhere in there, or 30
yeah.
or more. Oh, no.
Girl.
Wrong answer.
Wrong answer. But you know what? Let me just say something. Don't feel bad about that because legitimately, Sarah, I ask people that. What's your value on your own rate?
Yeah.
And so if anyone ever asks me, I tell them $500 an hour. Like I'm a high-end hooker.
I mean, I love it. I just didn't know if that was realistic.
What are you talking about?
Is it?
If I'm going to spend 60 hours trying to figure out, and at $500 an hour, I'm like, yeah, I just better hire it done. So $30 an hour, even at $30 an hour, you're like, okay, if I hired a tile guy, he's going to be in 3 to 5 days in and out of the job.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to give you more tips when we come back on installing your own tile. And by the way, 248-539-9797. Give us a shout out. Give us a text, a question, whatever you want. It's Shout Out Saturdays. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helpin with Sarah Sales.
When it comes to buying a home, they say cash is king. But you're a queen, and that's just as powerful. You're armed with a verified approval from Rocket Mortgage. Sellers know your offer is good, so your bid has the strength to compete with cash offers. Now grab your crown and rule. That castle is yours. So when you need an edge in the bidding war, Rocket can.
Few things are guaranteed in home improvement, but clogged drains might be one of them. Nowadays, you can go online and you can find a million different tricks and hacks on how to fix a clogged drain. I asked Ron Alexander of Shelby Mechanical what he thinks about the do-it-yourself drain declogging methods. He said to me he would recommend staying away from any of those gimmicks. Vinegar, baking soda, or whatever else people talk about pouring down the drain. You're more than likely to just end up with a mess in the drain that's still clogged. I also don't recommend out-of-the-box chemical drain openers either. While those can be effective on some clogs, they can also damage your pipes and end up costing a lot of money in repairs down the road. But there are a handful of things you can try that are safe and do work before going through the trouble of having a plumber come out. The first method that Ron recommended was the good old-fashioned plunger and using hot water. Hot water can help break down the common clogging agents like grease and soap, and the plunger can sometimes push the clog through. According to Ron, it will depend on the type of clog and where the clog is and the shape of your drain as to whether or not plunging can effectively solve your problems. For a clogged shower, Ron says the simplest answer might be the best. A lot of times with a shower, the problem is hair, and people don't realize that they could see the clog and maybe even just reach down and pull it out if they take off the drain cover. In the case of a clog that you can't quite reach, a coat hanger or a similar hook might help you remove the clog. If you're handy and you feel up to the task, you could always rent a plumber's snake at a big box store to deal with a particularly stubborn clog. Ron even has people call him on the phone for tips in the middle of working on their drain. People call me all the time and ask. I don't mind. If it's something simple I can recommend, I'll tell you. And if it's something I think we can come out and take a look at, I'll tell you that too. I always say there's nothing wrong with doing your due diligence and seeing if you can fix a problem yourself. But if you're getting nowhere, fighting a clogged drain all afternoon because you want to save a few dollars, ask yourself this. How much is your time worth? Because most homeowners, there's a point where the time is more valuable to them than what they would end up paying someone to fix it. And that's when it's time to make the call. For more plumbing tips, or if you're looking for a great plumber like Ron Alexander and his team at Shelby Mechanical, just head over to hireitdone.com. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sarah Sell is in the co-host seat today. Great home improvement Saturday. It's a little chilly out today, so everyone be careful out there. You know what today is, Sarah?
Shout out Saturday.
That and?
Salt Cell Saturday.
There you go.
Yay.
In fact,
got it right.
To get Salt Cell Saturday, to get that, to get it kicked off, we're going to have the owner of Beauchamp on the phone right now. Jared, are you there?
Good morning.
Hey, how are you, my friend?
Doing great on this cold morning.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to both of you as well.
So, Jared, you've never talked to Sarah. Sarah, say hello to Jared.
Hi, Jared. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you as well. I didn't realize. I guess I haven't listened in a little while. Is this your new format? If so, I like it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, listen, it always gives good balance on home improvement because, listen, 70% of all home improvement decisions are made by women.
This is true.
So we're not going to get into any gender conversations right now. However, I do want to say this. Jared Beauchamp owns Beauchamp Water Treatment. And
Yep.
Jared, today's Salt Sale Saturday. You want to tell all the listeners all about that?
Yeah, basically every Saturday what we do is it's really an appreciation for all of our customer base. We have Dirt Cube salt at $5.99 a bag, and it's amazing the amount of people and traffic we get on Saturdays. By the
I
end of the day,
appreciate
we're
it.
pretty exhausted.
It's funny. I had some people email me recently. They're like, Adam, we've been overpaying for salt. We heard you on a Saturday. We went to Beauchamp's. Do you have a new one in like Highland or something? Waterford? Or where's it at?
Yeah, we have a newer store over in Waterford that we opened up.
Okay, these people,
Okay.
the people said, they went to Waterford and they're like thanking me because they saved money. Quick question for you, Jared. In this cold weather, does cold weather like this affect a water softener or the way it performs?
Yeah, I was actually listening to you guys earlier about things like that. And, sometimes, you want to check your sump pump to make sure you don't have any blockage or freezing. Sometimes if you have a sump pump that's sealed up and goes into a drain tile underneath the ground once it's outside,
Yeah.
if it's not buried deep enough, you can get freezing out there. And sometimes people have their water softeners directly discharged outside the basement wall because they don't want to run it through the sump pump or into the septic field.
Yep.
That can be very problematic. It can freeze up, and basically what will happen is you'll just run into hard water. The softener will kind of lock up. Won't hurt it or anything. It just won't operate because it can't discharge.
So let me ask. Okay, so it's important. If something like that happens, what advice does the homeowner need to call you guys for a service, or do you have to wait for it to thaw out? What would be like pour hot water down your drains or something? What would you do?
In a situation like that, we would. They can always call us if they can't find the issue, but in the wintertime, that's a good first thing to look for. If they weren't able to do it, basically what we would do is we'd either bring like a hairdryer or a heat gun out and try to thaw it out, depending on where this issue is.
Okay, well, that's not a bad idea. So let's talk about water quality for a second, because I have one of your water filters in my house, and I got to be honest with you, it's a game changer. Okay, people don't realize, even though Michigan water is pretty clean, when you put a water filter or a reverse osmosis or any of the variety of items that you sell at Beauchamp, literally anybody who drinks water will know that there's a huge difference. Can you tell the listeners, Jared, about what the difference is? If let's say I have city water, but I want to put a filter on my house, you guys can do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, we can. And the nice thing about it really serves two purposes. Is number one, the overall. Some people, from a quality or a taste standpoint, some people don't like the chlorine taste that in some municipalities you'll get. So the taste can vary a little bit. What we do is, we polish the water. The water departments do a great job. We work closely with a lot of water departments, and I know we hear about this, the Flint City Water and other things, but, for the most part, I'll tell you that, the city water departments do a great job. But there's a responsibility as a homeowner that you want to polish that water off, similar to what your refrigerator filter will do. It'll polish it off, but it won't quite purify it. So that's where we come in, is we'll purify it. We can safeguard it. So if you get any contaminants or if you have any city plumbing that's breaking down,
Sure.
you're adding the contaminants to the water that's already been previously cleaned when it leaves the water plant, and then it goes through what we refer to as the transmission lines, the water lines.
Okay.
You can pick up contaminants, and
Yeah.
It just more and more people over the last couple of years, Adam. It's been unbelievable with the amount of people on city water being proactive and just realizing, hey, listen, this is a responsibility I need to do. And for your health and safety, it's well worth it. We can put in filters that will protect you and will also improve the taste of the water.
That's the best part. So if anyone's concerned about clean water, quality water, or, better than bottled quality water in your home, right out of your tap, call Beauchamp's because you guys literally, it removes PFAS, lead, all the poisons. Is there like a list of stuff, or how does that work?
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of, you mentioned the main things that we hear about all the time that are issues, or if you're even on well water, arsenic is another big issue as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is when you call up, we're going to ask, are you on city water, are you on well water? But regardless of which one you're on, there's water treatment equipment that is designed for your application. So yeah, I mean, it safeguards you from all of the issues that you mentioned and more that I could go on and on about.
We're talking with Jared Beauchamp from Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. Sarah, do you have a question for him?
Yeah, Jared, I was just curious. What are we looking at for the price of the filter, like for city water per se? Because I personally have not drank city water since I was a very young child, for the obvious reasons that we're talking about today. So what would we be looking at if we wanted to do a filter?
If you're on city water and let's say you call up and your main concern is, listen, I've been carrying in all this water every week.
Yep.
I load up my grocery cart with water and I just want purified water at the kitchen sink and also hooked up to my refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
We sell systems that start at $500.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Installed in your house.
That's reasonable.
And yeah, now we have customers that also, if you call up and say, listen, I'm concerned about my water where I'm brushing my teeth, I'm bathing in it, and so on and so forth, and I'm hearing a lot of these things about lead in my city water.
Yeah.
We have filters that we can filter out the entire household.
Okay.
And, an average whole house system can run up to, you can get up to $7,000, $8,000. Our average system for a customer that wants to treat it from A to Z is on city water about $1,000, $1,500.
All right.
On well water, our average system is going to be about $4,500. It's taking care of your iron, your hardness, and also taking care of the contaminants that could be in the water as well.
That's interesting information. And by the way, for anyone out there listening, I have the reverse osmosis filter in my house coming to I had you guys plumb it into my ice maker, my kitchen sink, and I also have the little spout next to the kitchen sink. And I want you to know, I haven't bought bottled water. It's been a couple years now. And literally it's helping pay for itself because it's so efficient and I love it.
Yeah.
Jared, is there any new technology in water softener systems, or is it still the tried and true salt, systems? What is there anything coming up, or is it just it's a solid system and that's what you do?
No, that's a great question, Adam. There is both from a city water application, also from well water. Like on city water, the most common thing is, and it's become very, very popular. Again, I know I keep referring to the Flint crisis, but it's something we all hear about time and time again. There is a system that basically it filters out the entire household water. So whether you're brushing your teeth, taking a shower, or whatever, it really safeguards you for any of the issues that may or may not be happening. And
that's
I think
perfect.
we encourage our customers to remember is what's in your water today is not necessarily what's going to be in your water tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
On city water, we all hear about these boil your water alarms and stuff like that. If you have a broken in the wintertime, you're talking about all this cold weather. Well, we all know in the cold weather we get water main breaks.
Yeah, and that
when we deal with water,
everything.
Exactly. When we're dealing with that, they're cutting into it, they're breaking into it, they're doing what they need to do to get everybody back up and running in water, and they do a great job of trying to be as clean as they possibly can. But sometimes, it adds stuff into your water throughout the process.
All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Listen, Jared, I want to take a quick break, but I want to keep you on the line because I have a couple more questions when we come back. Is that okay? Can you stay on?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're going to keep you one more segment. All right, we're going to take a quick break, folks. We got Jared from Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions on the line. If you need water quality issues, text us 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
When it comes to buying a home, they say cash is king. But you're a queen, and that's just as powerful. You're armed with a verified approval from Rocket Mortgage. Sellers know your offer is good, so your bid has the strength to compete with cash offers. Now grab your crown and rule. That castle is yours. So when you need an edge in the bidding war, Rocket can.
The Beauchamp family's been in the water treatment business since 1976. Well, we moved on to well water, and my mom experienced well water for the first time, and her hair was discoloring, the toilets and fixtures were discoloring, and my dad went around and shopped many different type of water softeners and forced him to really learn about water and how to properly treat it. And before we knew it, our family entered into the water business because my dad was so fascinated with everything that went along with it. For us growing up, it was going to school, learning our schoolwork, and then going home and learning our water treatment home schoolwork.
Most of our problems that we run into are a lot of iron issues from well water, calcium buildup, odor in the water, smelly water. Arsenic's been a big thing for us. Most of our work has mainly been on well water, but we're definitely branching into city water because of that market there's a lot more people that are more knowledgeable. There's a lot more public knowledge to that. You hear it on the radio, you hear it in the newspaper. Obviously Flint struck, kind of brought that up, but it is an issue. It's an issue that is becoming more aware of, to the communities, and certainly there's treatment for that. Now with the city water and people with their health and stuff, they're trying to, get their water as clean as they can.
Welcome back. This is Higher Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Got Sarah Sells in the co-host seat. Welcome back, Sarah.
Good morning.
On the line is Jared Beauchamp from Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. Jared, welcome back.
Hey, Jared.
Morning, thank you.
Jared, quick question. I got a text question in from the phone lines. It said, does the home filtered water system produce a better quality water as opposed to the store-bought bottled water?
It's a great question. There's different, it's really depending on the water you're buying, because there's different qualities. You can get spring water, you can get purified water. So in some cases, yes. In some cases, it's very similar water that you're going to now be producing right in your own house at a fraction of the cost without the hassle of carrying in all those bottles.
Well, that's the thing I was confused about. So there's filtered water, like out of a tap. Then there's bottled at the source, like from a spring. But coming out of your tap, past all the Beauchamp filters, your water's clean is better than any of the water you can buy in a bottle, right?
It's going to be purified water. So, and that's the nice thing about it. And yeah, there are bottled water. I don't want to mislead anybody. Some of the bottled water out there is also purified with reverse osmosis.
Got it.
But not all of it. But, really when you put in, there's been studies done, when you put in a reverse osmosis system in your home, you're basically paying pennies on it compared to what you're paying for the bottled water that you're buying.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so if you are getting the good quality bottled water, you're going to be the exact same thing, but right at your tap. And then you're not throwing all these empty bottles and the plastics away, and there's just so many things that really are very beneficial.
Okay.
Once you have it.
Here, we got some questions in on the text message stream, 248-539-9797. If anyone has a question for Beauchamp Water Treatment, it says, I recently purchased a new home and have well water for the first time. The water has a distinct smell that I'm not used to. I do have a reverse osmosis system for my kitchen sink, and that water is great. Well, I need to get a filter for the whole house to take care of the smell, and if I do, what's the least expensive way to solve the issue? Evan from Clarkson. Great question.
Yeah, great question. And I always I welcome people onto well water from city water. It's a whole different world.
Yeah, it is.
What I would suggest first is I'll try to give the short answer on this. You want to determine, is the smell coming from the hot water or the cold water? If you find out that's coming from the hot water, there is what we refer to as a mag rod, an anoid rod in the water heater. And sometimes just removing that rod and then flushing the water heater out can take care of that. That's in a situation where the smell is just in the hot water.
Like the rotten eggs.
Yeah, and what happens is those rods, when you have water softener and stuff, they just deteriorate and break down, and they add an odor to the hot water side.
Okay.
So that's one common question we get. If it's odor in both the hot and cold, then you can start with chlorinating the well. Sometimes what that is it's a buildup that could be down in your well that if you chlorinate it, it can help eliminate it. Those are going to be the two least expensive methods. Sometimes the chlorination isn't a long-term fix. Sometimes it's a temporary fix.
Yeah, I had to put bleach down my well once to chlorinate the well and get all the bacteria out. I did some crazy stuff. Jared, real quick, what's the number if someone wants to call you and ask questions or want to buy some water softener equipment or help or filters and things like that?
Yep, our number is 810-632-2000. And your caller out of Clarkston, we actually, our Waterford office is right around the corner. We can come right out to your house at no charge and evaluate it. And that's going to be the cheapest route right there. Have us come out at no charge to you. We'll test it, we'll evaluate it, and we'll give you your recommendations.
So, Sarah, you were at the break was asking a question about that.
Yeah, so last night, Jared, actually, we just got a new house under contract. My clients did. Never been on well water. There's a water softener there that's not in use. So they have obviously a ton of questions. So would the process be they call you, set up an appointment, and you come out, or do they come to the store? What's the easiest way to get someone educated on this kind of stuff?
If they want to just call us at our store,
okay,
or they can also email us at beauchampwater.com. We do free in-home water analysis and evaluations.
Awesome. I love that.
So we can come right out. We can evaluate the equipment for them, let them know what they have, and
how to use it.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yep, we're happy to do that.
So real quick, someone texted in, I'm on a well water. It tastes great, but when I make ice cubes, my ice cubes come out salty. I have a softener in the reverse osmosis. Not sure why this happens. Does that sound common to you?
If it's going through the reverse osmosis system, it shouldn't be salty. If it's just going through the water softener, it can taste a little salty because of the ion exchange process that happens with the water softener. But if it's really like ocean salty, they're probably going to want to set up a service call because something isn't working properly.
That makes sense to me. Now, let me ask you this. Someone texted in, and this, I've heard about it, but maybe you can give me your opinion. What's this whole rigmarole about alkaline water? Is that something that, like, they say is healthy? It cures cancer. You can't live in alkaline state. Blah, 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 blah. Jared, what are your thoughts on alkaline?
I know we can control that. That's more of Scott, my head rep that handles that. He specializes in that a lot more than I do. So any advice I would probably give on that might not be as accurate as I would like to have it. But if they have questions on it, again, call the office and we can analyze it. And one of my sales team, they know water inside and out actually better than I do.
Yeah, your people are, by the way, your people are the best. I've referred you to a couple houses that wanted the whole house filter, and the people, literally the feedback, and I think you got all the reviews from your Google website. Your service is 5-star. So I want to congratulate you because you really, really, not only do you do the best work, but the customer service end of it is top notch. So for anyone out there who wants to just clean up the water, they have a softener, they need a good, like a tune-up, I suggest you give Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions a call. It's 248-632-2000. Jared, I want to thank you for calling in today.
Thanks for all the great info, Jared.
Oh, thank you. It was very nice meeting you, and
You too.
enjoyed your show today.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, Jared. Thanks for calling in.
All right, you guys have a great weekend.
You
Thank
too, my
too.
friend. Take care. 248-538-9797. You got a question Google can't answer, we'll get it for you. If you want to say hi, or you're a contractor, you want to give us a shout out, we'd love to say what up. A couple of people texted in. Let's see here. DeSantis Trucking Disposal and Recycling Dumpster Rental.
Yep.
What up? Thanks for tuning in. We've got A1 Concrete Foundation Repair. They do flat work. I need a good concrete guy, by the way. Rip out and repour, new pour, leveling existing concrete, caulking seams, cracks. Okay, yeah, we need a guy like this. Sinking foundations. Totally need a guy like that. So 248-539-9797. If you have a question that Google can't answer, Sarah and I are here right now. Sarah, a lot of people want to do home improvement on a budget, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you some quick
Definitely.
tips when you're on a budget.
Okay.
Which is 99% of the thing. But this means like how to save a few dollars when doing a home improvement project. How's that sound, right?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, so you know what RTA cabinets are?
No.
Right. Most people don't. We're ready to assemble.
Oh, okay.
So like if you go to IKEA and you buy this beautiful wall unit you see there on display, and then you buy it and you go downstairs and they put it on it, and it's 3 inches tall and 11 feet long. That's called RTA.
People break up over IKEA projects.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick IKEA story. I got a text. I got a lead request in Hire Done a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It says, "Hey, I need you to save my marriage."
Yep.
I'm like, "What's up?" She goes, "I just broke my toe on my ready to assemble wall unit."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I emailed the lady, say, "Hey, your request seems interesting. What do you mean you broke your toe?" So she's like, 3 months ago, my husband and I bought this, wall unit from IKEA, and it's been on the floor for 3 months in parts.
Uh-huh.
And he keeps saying he's going to do it. He's going to do it. This morning, I walked around the corner on the phone, and I stubbed my toe on the corner. She goes, "It's worse than walking on 10 Legos." So I'm like, okay. So anyways, she goes, "I got to hire it done. Here's my credit card number. I don't care what it costs." All right, we're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, another great hour of Hire It Done.
Yeah.
We've got home improvement on a budget. My name's Adam Helfman. We got Sarah Sells in studio. We'll see you in about a few minutes. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. Good morning. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great morning. Little rain, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's all good, though. you want to watch us on Facebook, give us a little look. Go to Hire It Done on Facebook or 97.1 The Ticket. You have any questions, you can text us 97136. As you know, Hire It Done is in 38 markets now, and we're the largest home improvement network here in Metro Detroit and around the Great Lakes. And we want to help you, the homeowner, find the best home improvement advice so that when you hire a contractor, you don't have headaches. And if you do have headaches, at least you'll know what the questions to ask, and you'll know how to be hassle-free or how to find the solution-minded contractor. And now, speaking of solution-minded contractors, we've got in studio Christian Deasy from Christian's Gutters. Good morning, Christian.
Good morning. Thanks for having us back.
Of course, man. You're awesome. And you brought one of your top employees. His name's Josh Norris. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. How you been?
I'm doing all right. Glad to be here.
So, Josh, how long you been installing gutters?
I've honestly been doing this for about 15 years.
Dang.
I know it doesn't look that way, but I was born into this.
So, like, Josh Norris has been doing it 15 years like an expert. You're like a ninja a little bit.
Essentially, yeah.
The people, we got to ask you because everyone wants to know already. People want to know, are you related to Chuck Norris?
I pretend I am.
That's the best thing to do, right? You might as well.
Absolutely.
Because think about it. You could just say, I'm related to Chuck Norris. Your gutters, I'm just gonna karate chop your gutters, and they're gonna, be all set. So
sometimes they do come off that way.
Oh yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
So Christian, let me ask you a question. Since you're a Hire It Done contractor, how's the business so far? Are you looking up for 2020 to be a really busy year?
Yeah, we're excited, and the weather's been warm, so we've been working, and it's a good weekend to talk about gutters with this
Rain.
The danger right now is some of the ground's still frozen.
Yeah.
So a lot more of that water might be running against your house.
Well, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. So right now, currently, we're in, winter time. It should be snowing, not raining. However, I'm not going to get into the global climate change argument. I'm just going to get into it's raining. We got about 12 inches of frost in the ground. Probably not more than that, even though we got to usually go, 42 inches or whatever. The key is water's not going to drain down. It's going to sit on the surface. It's going to migrate there, and then it'll either pitch back into your foundation or not. So when gutters are put on a house, you have the downspouts and you have where the water goes away from the foundation. Is there a correct amount of space or a foot or length that a gutter should go away from the house, in your opinion? Is there a minimum, Christian?
Our standard is like 3 or 4 feet, but it really varies depending on your landscaping, your gardening, the grade.
So there's a lot of things that impact that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Josh, let me ask you a question because you install the gutters.
Absolutely.
Typically, when you have the downspout and when it hits the ground, is it a hard piece? Is it a flexible piece? Because you see the big box stores today, and they got those snakes. You cord in, you pull them apart. What do you guys use?
Well, we use our own downspouts as extensions to, about 3 to 5 feet at the bottom. So they're a hard piece. You can obviously have the flexible ones, which they work as well.
Does a homeowner ever have those on the job site and say, hey, after you put your piece, will you connect my piece?
Absolutely, they do. Some prefer it.
Okay, and is that a hindrance or a help?
It really doesn't really matter either way unless, like I said, unless it's preference for the homeowner.
Okay.
Certain slopes, certain angles, maybe they want it to turn a certain way, maybe they want the water to run a certain way. And that's usually the best way to do it.
So, Christian, when you're out evaluating a homeowner's house and you see the grade, do you ever say to them, hey, listen, it's better off if we go a little bit longer, or in this situation, we should turn the downspout this way? Do you recommend that to them?
Definitely. And that's probably, paying attention and caring about the job we're doing. That's probably why we get a lot of the jobs we do.
It's attention to detail.
Yeah.
You're very thorough.
But, everybody doesn't need us right now, and, who knows when they're going to call us. But everybody with this weather today and the frost should, after the show, get their umbrella, walk around your house, check it out, see if there's any flooding, see if there's any water against your house, and try to mitigate any future problems.
And that's the best part. In my opinion, a house should have gutters, and it should have the gutters draining the water away from the house. Your roof is your biggest umbrella in the house. Where does the water go? Right? Down the gutters. I see houses with big overhangs that don't have gutters. I'm thinking, so what are they thinking? You know? And yeah, gutters are tricky sometimes. 2-story house, how do you get it down, going around, coming across? You know, there's a little science to it. And so each job that you do, Christian, is unique to the homeowner, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I thought. So let's talk about any trends in gutters. Obviously, back in the day, it was a 4-inch gutter. Now today it's 5 and 6?
And 7 and 8 and on up.
What is the one that you prefer for Michigan climates? Is there one? Is there a for the perfect scenario, what gutter do you like?
Most houses in Michigan, we really like 6-inch.
Okay.
You know, it's bigger than the norm.
It can handle a lot more water.
Yeah. You see a lot more of that 7 and 8-inch in Florida, where you got more hurricane kind of stuff happening. But
huge downpour.
I mean, the trend might keep going up like it did from 5 to 6. Also, the water volume and erratic weather may keep pushing the.
And that's what I wasn't sure.
Too.
Okay, so if it's 6-inch gutters, I guess it makes sense to me. So the question is, when people have gutters that are existing but they're leaking, like I can't stand when I see in a corner water dripping out of the corner. What causes that? Do you know?
Couple different things. So it may just be bad pitch or a clog, and it might not be dripping out of the corner. It might look that way because it's coming over the top.
Okay.
The gutter's full, or the caulk was never done, or it's failed over time, 20, 30 years.
What do they make that do they make like a tape that you put in the inside of the corner? Does this help BS, or does it really work?
Like the rubber in a can stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not entirely sure that it works. I know our sealant stays for ever, really.
Okay.
You got to
cut
cut
Quad,
into it.
or what do you use?
What's that?
What do you use?
What is the brand that we use?
Quad?
GeoCell 2320
Okay.
is our favorite gutter, narrow seam and gutter sealant. The flex stuff, I've pulled a lot of that out of corners. I don't really think it works for that purpose.
I like the idea of it, though.
I think there's a lot of things it is good for, but not gutters.
Okay. You know? So if someone says, "Oh my God, there's water coming out of my gutters right now," and there's it never cleaned them out, can they call you, and can they have you come out in the next couple of weeks, do a cleaning, and then give them new gutters or fix them or repair them?
They'll call him and send me.
Is that what it is? It's an easy solution, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and, our January and February are our slowest time of year, so you might not be waiting as long, especially if the weather's right in the 50s in January. We're going to want to jump on that gutter cleaning quickly while we can.
Yeah, so I have a friend who recently contacted me. Her name's Lauren. And shout out to Lauren if you're listening this morning.
Hello.
She has clogged gutters.
Okay.
And she keeps saying, I got to get them fixed. I got to get them clean. What do I do? I'm like, just go to hire it done. My guys will come out there, you know. So she's like, yeah, I'll get it. Well, I know she's listening today, so we're gonna pressure her into giving you guys a call. So we're talking with Christian's Gutters, Christian Deasy, the owner, and we got Josh Norris, one of his installers. If you want to get your gutters inspected, cleaned, gutter protection, give him a call, 586-698-2337. The website is christiansgutters.com, and Christian has 2 A's. I love that. That's really That's right. It is the weekend. Good morning, everyone. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. And joining me in the co-host seat this morning, Sarah Sells. What up?
Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody.
We just kicked butt in this previous hour. Now we got another
did.
hour. We are going on fire today.
I'm excited.
Right?
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay. What's on your home improvement list today? Anything good?
Yeah.
What do you got? Anything?
Yeah, moving stuff into the one house, staging it. So,
always
finishing up some trim work, and I think it's just the staging stuff today.
Well, you got anybody that...
Me, myself, and I'm doing it all today, Adam.
Oh, sorry to hear that. You know me. I would offer a hand, but that's not really where
That's
we
not
go.
your jam.
Right. No, that's not my jam, right? So, welcome to Hire It Done, everyone. My name's Adam Huff, and I'm a home improvement expert. Been renovating homes, building homes, fixing them up, flipping them for, you won't believe this. I started in the late 80s, early 90s.
I was born in the early 80s.
Right. So, I was like, you were a baby. It's okay.
I was a little baby.
So I'm like a fourth generation contractor. People always ask, Adam, how do you know about home improvement? Well, my great grandfather started our family business 1926.
Wow.
And we evolved 4 generations. We were in the lumber business and then evolved to the renovation business. And, I'm a Spartan, degree in construction engineering. Yeah.
My parents are Spartans too.
Yeah. So go green, go white. Nothing
That's right.
against Michigan people. You can call me little brother all you want. I don't care. At the end of the day, we're from Michigan, so it's good. So we got a lot going on in the home improvement front today, and we were talking about home improvement tips for people who are on a budget, right? And when we talked about it, we said RTA cabinets. RTA cabinets.
I remember. Ready to assemble.
RTA means ready to assemble. That's right. And it saves time. But here's the thing. If you're going to hire a contractor, Sarah, and you tell the contractor, listen, I'm going to hire you to install the cabinets.
Yeah.
You need to tell the contractor that they're RTA cabinets. RTA, again, for everyone out there, is ready to assemble.
Those are the ones that I just purchased at a certain big box store.
Right.
That were non-custom, correct?
Right. Well, it's not that, no. Off the shelf and, stock cabinets is one thing, but ready to assemble are cabinets that are really called knockdown, where they come in a box.
Those are the big I store ones that we're talking about.
Yeah, but
that
they sell them. They sell them at a lot of places. In fact, a lot of times, ready to assemble is really inexpensive because you're saving a ton of labor. So what happens in that situation?
I'm telling you, the I store, no way. Never again in my lifetime.
Well, it depends on what you do. See, there's a very, very good value there. But let me just say this. Ready to assemble cabinets. If you're going to hire a contractor to install your cabinets, Sarah, this is important for everyone out there listening. Make sure you inform your contractor that these cabinets need to be built before you install them, because they're going to be like, dude.
Adam, so that it was a really bad thing that I said, surprise, guess what? I have this closet for you guys to do. And they're like, what did you buy? And it was RTA boxes and stuff for my closet. And they're like, oh my God, are you kidding?
Yeah. So I want you to know you got to tell them that, because it costs 2 to 3 times the labor in installation when you have to build the cabinet then install it. So just let everyone know that. So but if you're going to do it yourself, sometimes you can do that. Now, I've had people tell me that they want to paint their laminate tops. Sarah, painting laminate tops, would you ever recommend that? Have you ever sold a house that had laminate tops that were painted?
Well, of course we've seen that, but just don't. Look, if you're going to do that, you guys, just buy new laminate. You can get it anywhere so cheap. And here's a really good solution if you don't want to do granite or quartz. Butcher block. I just did an incredible kitchen with butcher block.
Right.
And I'd love to show you guys the before and after. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I need you.
It's funny. On Facebook Marketplace, I saw butcher block tops.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if you want remnants, it's another way to save money. Go to the marble and granite shops.
Yeah.
I go to Hard Rock Stoneworks. They're one of our guys. And they have a remnant section that's ridiculously big. And you can save so much money on remnants.
I think that's where my parents got the remnant for our mudroom. And it was gorgeous. It was an exotic that was leathered, actually. And they got it for, the A price.
Yeah, so that's the best part about that. So
definitely.
So don't paint your laminate tops. I don't want you to save money.
please don't
Now, how
do
about
so.
upgrading lighting? Better lighting in a house makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. And it's easy, and it's a quick thing that you can do on a budget. I
Right.
mean, the big box stores have sales on this kind of stuff every single weekend.
Now, have you ever bought anything from like these online home improvement places like Wish or House or things like
No.
Overstock?
Yeah, Overstock, Wayfair, I have. Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I say that is because for anybody out there who's hired a contractor and then the contractor says to you, okay, you buy the fixtures and that kind of stuff. There's a risk when you supply stuff, Sarah, to the contractor.
I've heard that.
Okay, so if let's say you buy a faucet and then the contractor installs it and it doesn't work right, whose fault is it?
Well, technically yours because you're the one who supplied it.
Well, yeah, unless the guy put it in wrong, right? So here's the thing. We're going to talk about when a contractor installs something you supply, who's responsible, what should be the right way to write it down, and how to handle it if there is a problem, okay?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to answer that question. Plus, 248-539-9797. You got a question that Google can't answer, and it's Shout Out Saturday. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
Your house brought you together. Like, really together. And although together is great, together with more space is better. With Rocket Mortgage, you get personalized loan options, closing costs, and tax estimates all in real time. So when you need to know what it takes for a home to fit your budget and your family, Rocket can. Rocket.
Hi, I'm Adam Helfman, home improvement expert from Hire It Done. I always hear from homeowners who like to tackle projects around the house themselves. That's why we've put together this Do-It-Yourself series to help you next time you're ready to embrace your inner weekend warrior. Hope you enjoy the video. Hey everyone, it's Adam Helfman from Hire It Done. Today we're going to learn how to locate your hose bib that goes to the outside and how to turn it off for the winter. So the first thing you want to do to locate your hose bib shutoff is to go outside and identify where your hose bib is. Then come into your basement or your crawl space and go to the same location from the inside of your house to where it is. Usually there's plumbing supply lines to that area, and that's where you'll find the shutoff valve. So now that we've identified the shutoff valve for the outside hose bib, what you want to do is you want to turn it clockwise. And when you turn it clockwise, that'll turn the valve completely off. So the reason why you want to turn the water off to your spigot is because in the wintertime, the water will freeze on the outside of the wall, and if it does, the plumbing will crack and the water will be coming back into your crawl space or your basement. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, go ahead and click the like button. If you didn't like it, or if you think you know a better way to tackle a project, then please leave a comment for me below. And if you want more great home improvement content like this, go ahead and subscribe. As always, I'm Adam Helfman with Hire It Done, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Sarah Sell's in the studio today. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
So we're talking about home improvement tips to save on budget, right?
Yeah.
One of the things we said, what about putting shelves on the walls? You ever see like on HGTV or on Pinterest, they have all cool ways to decorate a room, and they just say buy these little shelves.
Well, now, have you seen the shelves that are popular with like the galvanized pipes?
Yeah.
The more industrial. I like it.
You do.
I do.
So that reminds me of like an HGTV show or Bravo or one of those stations. You ever watch those shows?
Yes.
I think next to Google, those shows have ruined the home improvement business.
So I don't watch so much HGTV anymore, but Bravo is my guilty pleasure. I feel like HGTV is a good launching pad.
Well, they're all regardless of irregardless of the channel, the home improvement reality shows, they're so scripted. They fake everyone out, and they hurt the home improvement business.
Yeah.
Did you want to know why? You have any reason why?
Because it's not reality.
Right.
Any of it.
By the way, 248-539-9797. You have a question or you're a contractor listening today, give us a text. We'll give you a shout out today. So, Sarah, let me tell you why. I think like Google, okay? Google ruined the home improvement business for one reason. When you Google something, how to hang a shelf, like in a blink of an eye, boom, right? How to tile something, YouTube videos, all that comes up. The key, it's instant answers. But when you hire a contractor, nothing is instant. Especially good contractors, especially nowadays, it's finding a contractor is very difficult. So Google is bad because it makes people think they get everything right away. Any kind of home improvement takes time. That's important. Now, when HGTV or the other stations do a home improvement show, it's 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
18 or 20 minutes of it is the content. The rest are commercials. Do you think you can remodel a bathroom in 18 minutes? And then they say, "Oh, we only spent $7,500 or $1,500 or $2,000 on the bathroom."
Yes.
Does anybody believe that that's real?
I hear you.
I mean, it's so frustrating.
Well, it was honestly the same kind of thing with real estate. Is so many first-time home buyers. They're like, "Oh, I saw blah 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 on HGTV." They got their offer accepted the first house they saw. It's like not real life or how any of that really works.
Right. So if you have a question for Sarah or myself this morning, text us 248-539-9797. Why won't contractors do the minimum needed to save money? Instead, they always try to sell you on the unnecessary stuff, like only needing a roof over. Instead, they tell you they won't do it and sell you a new roof. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, we had a really long talk about this 2 shows ago.
Yeah, so here's the thing I want to talk about. You can do a roof by stripping it down to the plywood, replacing rotted plywood, and then reinstalling a new roof, right? That is one of the things, okay? So if you've got a flat roof, then, not a flat roof, let's just say you have a 3-in-1 3-tab shingle. You can basically reshingle that. But I'm going to tell you right now, if your roof's in good shape, there's no reason to replace it or do anything. But if it's leaking, the last thing you want to do is put shingles over a leaking roof. And yes, it's a balance because I got to be honest. I think most contractors want to sell a new roof. They get more money, obviously, but there are certain instances where you can do a shingle over. And
this comes to budget too. We talked about being honest and transparent with budget and people's time and all of that.
Well, yeah, budget is always important.
Right.
So, but again, a reshingle as opposed to a tear off and replace. I don't know how much the difference in price is, but at Hire It Done, we have both. We have contractors who will do both. But yeah, it's actually a decent representation of what you got to do. I think contractors, though, I've had Hire It Done contractors go out for a new roof and tell the homeowner, "Mrs. Jones, there's nothing wrong with your roof. It's not leaking. You got 3 to 5 years."
Yeah.
I feel bad selling you a new roof, and
We had that contractor at our house. That's who did one of our houses, and they were awesome.
From Hire It Done?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So let me just say that. So I tell contractors, this is one of the things that I tell them when I say, when you join Hire It Done, there are going to be times where people are going to test us and call us out and see. Like we've had competitors, we have all that. And so what happens is I tell the contractors, listen, if you get called out for a roof that's not leaking and it looks suspicious, look for cameras. Like I've had people try and set us up where like, oh, my furnace is blown up and there's nothing wrong with it.
Huh.
And then they're like,
someone has a lot of time on their hands then.
well, listen, there's the haters out there. There's evil.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So with us, my contractor's like, oh yeah, you're right. I never thought of that. But we literally, I'll step on a guy if they do that. So we protect the homeowner. Hire It Done. You and I, Sarah, we're every homeowner's best friend.
Yeah.
So we got to help them out. So Homes on Homes is a legit show. Yeah, I know him. He's from Canada. Met him a few years ago. He is a little bit dramatic, but he's good stuff. He definitely knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Adam. I'm very slowly starting to semi-finish my basement. What are some good flooring options to go over old asbestos tile that won't break the bank? Basement hasn't flooded in years, but I'm keeping that in the back of my mind as well. Jim from Lincoln Park.
Tile.
Okay, good choice. So he wants to not break the bank. So here's the thing: in a basement remodeling, and he has asbestos tile. So first of all, old asbestos tile.
Don't touch it.
Right, you need to
over it.
Can encapsulate. The key word is encapsulate it. So when you encapsulate that stops the aerosolization of the asbestos, which then doesn't get you mesothelioma. I did a little
My grandpa
research.
died of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he work in a factory ever, or fiberglass?
He worked at DTE.
Okay, pipe. Yeah, so
Yep.
so they used to put the wrap around the pipes. I see that a lot in Detroit houses in the basement, older homes. So, anyways, I am a big, huge fan, and this is where you can go to Independent Carpet One in Westland.
Okay.
Luxury vinyl tile, LVT, luxury vinyl tile. Looks
I like
exactly
that
like
too.
hardwood, and it's designed. You ready for this? To be waterproof, mold resistant. So if you ever have a flood in your basement, guess what? You're going to win because that's the best way to do it.
Yep.
So
This is
luxury
true.
vinyl tile, and it's not that expensive. You can buy it wholesale too. A lot of places sell it that way, but I would rather you buy it installed. Hey Adam, why does labor cost more than supplies? Well, that's always a good thing. It's not. By the
Good
way,
question.
that's changing again. I just quoted with a contractor we quoted a front porch.
Uh-huh.
The material for the front porch is double than what we estimated.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So the material prices are outrageous. And by the way, material's gone up because of distribution and COVID and all that. However, finding good labor today is also impossible. So you got to have two things. So everybody out there, let me just say this: if you're hiring a contractor this year, hire them now, call them now.
So backed up.
Because you got to get it on their list. That's the problem. I had a good conversation with Atlas Home Improvement during the week. Darian Bobby, I don't know if you know him.
Not yet.
They are having so much business they can't catch up. So I said to him, he goes, Adam, it's the best problem, but I'm really nervous because when I tell a homeowner it's 16 weeks before I do their bathroom, they're like, I can't wait. So we're going to solve that too when we come back. Let's take a quick break. My name's Adam Helfman with Sarah Sells. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
When it comes to buying a home, they say cash is king. But you're a queen, and that's just as powerful. You're armed with a verified approval from Rocket Mortgage. Sellers know your offer is good, so your bid has the strength to compete with cash offers. Now grab your crown and rule. That castle is yours. So when you need an edge in the bidding war, Rocket can.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Hi, it's Adam Helfman from Hire It Done. It's really cold outside. You're in the house. You got a little bit of stir crazy going on. Well, I'm going to give you 5 projects that anyone can do this winter. Whether you decide to do it yourself or hire it done,
painting your interior walls is a great project to get out of the way in the cold winter months. The ideal temperature for paint to dry is between 50 and 85 degrees. So winter is arguably better to paint in because you don't have to worry about running the air conditioning because you just painted. A change of colors on the walls can also help if you're starting to feel a case of the old cabin fever setting in. There's no time like the winter to get warmer floors. New carpet is an upgrade the whole family can appreciate. But you'll have to be careful because some new carpeting will give off VOCs, or what we call volatile organic compounds. So here's a tip. If you don't want to have to crack your windows open in the cold, ask your carpet installer to air out the carpeting for 3 to 5 days before they install it. Whether it's new grout, an updated sink faucet, or a full bathroom renovation, winter is the right time for working on your bathroom. The bathroom is an enclosed interior space, and you use it every day. That means you're going to appreciate it all year long. There's no time better than the winter for a brand new steam shower or a heated toilet seat. A lot of homeowners love running space heaters in the cold winter months, and I'm one of them. But space heaters utilize a lot of power and are a fire hazard if they're not placed properly or plugged into an outlet that isn't on a designated circuit. And speaking of outlets, winter is a great time to upgrade to built-in plugs with USB ports. Perfect for sitting under blankets and reading or binge watching your favorite shows. Insulation isn't a sexy home improvement, but it can lead to big savings in energy costs and a big improvement in your home's comfort level, especially in the cold winter months. One of the biggest problem areas for insulation is in your attic. Increasing insulation from R19 to R49 saves homeowners $600 a year on average. Another commonly overlooked area for insulation are the basement rim joists. That's the area between your basement wall and the first floor. You could potentially have almost as much heat loss there as in your attic and save almost as much by adding insulation. So we just gave you 5 really cool projects you can do around your house this winter, whether you want to save money or just update the look. This is what we're here to help you with. I want to thank you for watching, and if you want more information like that, just hit the subscribe button down below and you'll be notified when our new videos come out. I'm Adam Helfman from Hire It Done.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman with Sarah Sells in studio. Sarah, what you got going on today?
Little home improvement, showing appointments, listing appointments, all that good stuff.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So, you know I'm OCD a little.
A little?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with a little.
Why, you think I'm more?
I mean, I think you're a little bit more than a little.
Okay. I admit it. I'm OCD.
That's okay.
I'm not diagnosed. I have OCD tendencies, is what my therapist said.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just say I'm not crazy. But
Nothing wrong with that.
So the other day I ran out of hand sanitizer.
Oh, boy.
And, you know, since COVID, hand sanitizer is like bottled water. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was freaking out. And I wanted to look up, like, hand sanitizer where, you know, I noticed there's some, like, guys who, like, do distilled, like, liquor and stuff. They come out with hand sanitizer.
Yeah, but it smells.
It smells like bourbon, you know, like those. So I'm like, okay, what kind of hand sanitizer do I need that has the highest value, you know?
I use an all-natural one.
Right. But then I found out, I came across a website that says you won't believe how many uses and how many ways you can use hand sanitizer besides sanitizing your hands.
I mean, I've used it a couple different ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not like that. Oh, that would burn.
So, what are your thoughts about other things that you can use hand sanitizer for? Because I got a couple that I came up with.
So I have for sure used it at the office when we have a listing or we sell something. We put it on a whiteboard. So I've used it as cleaner for that.
You clean a whiteboard. Okay, perfect.
Yep. And then when I used to work in the hospital before real estate, we used to always use the alcohol wipes whenever you had like oily skin or a little bit of acne. So it's a quick way to use a little bit of alcohol on some
Hand sanitizer on your face?
blemish areas, just
Ew.
a little tiny bit.
Okay, so let me tell you what I use it for.
Okay.
Clean my eyeglasses.
Yep.
I use it for that.
Yep.
It works. Did you know you can polish silver?
I didn't know that, but that would make sense.
By the way, 248-539-9797. Today's shout out Saturday. So if you're a contractor or an essential worker or someone who's listening to the show and wants a shout out, text us. Or if you have a question Google can answer, you can text us 248-539-9797. Want to give out to Kyle, shout out to Kyle Builders. We got our new deck built by them. Yeah, I know who Kyle Builders are. Good guys. Kyle Builders building decks in his house. Shout out. Adam, why won't some contractors pick up where other contractors left off?
Yeah.
That's a big one. I'll tell you why.
I get why.
Okay, so a contractor screws your job up
Yep.
and takes the money, leaves it unfinished, and now you're holding the pot, right?
Had that.
What do you do?
You call someone else in, but it's a mess. They don't want to get into what that person did because they're essentially redoing everything.
Well, here's the thing. Contractors who take a job over from someone else,
Yeah.
and by the way, I've done that a few times, but I do it indemnification. I tell the homeowner, listen, I am not responsible for anything done previously to this, and if you litigate with the old contractor, I'm not going to be involved.
Yeah.
My dad always told me never, ever, ever, times ever, go back against a contractor. You know,
Right.
like if he does bad work, and open your mouth. He says, just say, you know what, I want to not get involved because it's not good business. Now, there are contractors who will jump on a job, and I know a few that are just like dumb loser contractors that do that. And, you know, like I had one in Higher Done that I found out
bash
about.
the
I had to
other
throw him
one,
out. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not going to say his name or anything. But it is what it is. So you got to be careful on that. 248-539-9797. Adam, hand sanitizer gets stains out of carpet.
No way. Really?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Ooh.
Well,
that's
be
a good-
careful.
that's
If
a
you're
good
going to
tip.
do that, though, make sure you do a little test spot first just to be careful.
That's a good idea.
Here's one I found out. I don't know if this is true, Sarah. You're going to have to test this one. Okay?
What?
It says, use hand sanitizer in place of deodorant. Not that you smell or anything, but I'm just saying the reason armpits start to smell is bacteria, which is why it makes
Agreed.
perfect sense that rubbing hand sanitizer on your armpits will keep you smelling fresh when
Really?
you roll your roll-on.
Okay, I'm going to try this out tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know next week if it worked.
Ew.
Why?
Okay, you do it. Let me know. I want you to do it on FaceTime. So I want to see. No, I just want to see if it burns. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, good. Now, here's one that says that I can't use because, oh, by the way, I could use it, but I don't. It says as a dry shampoo. With the advent of
I
dry
would
shampoos,
not.
you can spray a little bit on to make your hair look fresh washed when you don't have time for washing and blow drying.
I do use dry shampoo all of the time.
You do?
Absolutely.
I use shampoo and I don't have hair. Is that funny?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of weird, but all right. So that's an interesting one. How
But I
about,
would never do a gel in my hair.
okay, so here's a couple good ones, and maybe you can tell me if this works, Sarah. There's one that says clean your flat iron.
I don't use the flat iron.
No?
No.
Okay, so you don't know. But anyways, according to this
Makes
website,
sense, though.
all right, how about one of these? Clean hairspray off your mirror.
I don't use hairspray either. But I mean, it's getting the gunk off, right?
I use hairspray.
You're using alcohol to get the gunk off, so
Right.
it makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. 248-539-9797. Good morning, Anna. Rich from Resurrection Carpentry. I use hand sanitizers to get the tearaway glue off my fingers. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
I always use
Glue,
Goo
yeah.
Gone. I use Goo Gone. But anyways, spruce up your makeup brushes. Sarah, do you wear makeup? Yeah, you do. A little
Just
bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Can you use sanitizer to?
See, I probably wouldn't because it's alcohol, so it's drying out the brushes. But I mean, that might be a quick fix to do that.
How about a Sharpie? You can use hand sanitizer just to get permanent markers off clothing.
Wow.
What about
I mean,
removing?
that's a good tip.
Here's one: removing a sticky label. I guess because hand sanitizers are really basically alcohol and water.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that? 248-539-9797. Shout out Saturday. I'm with Sarah. We're talking about things that you can use hand sanitizer for. How about removing a Band-Aid? getting the ouch. It says taking the ouch of a Band-Aid.
So that takes me back to hospital and hospice before real estate. Whenever I would take anyone's IV out, I would always use the little rubbing alcohol pad, and that takes away the pull and the sting of removing your IV, the Band-Aid.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh
So
my
yes,
God.
this is 100% true.
All right, here's a few more, and then we'll get to the next topic. Clean your touch screen, clean your mouse, clean your keyboard.
With hand sanitizer?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I like this. I want the slime. Remember you talked about the slime?
Oh, yeah, the putty slime. I'm ordering that.
Right?
Yeah, that's an online.
Do you order stuff online a lot?
I have a tendency to do that. I'm being much better, though.
All right, so I'm like, when I was a kid, I'm going to give you an example. When I was young, and this is going to age me, you remember you could buy like 10 8-track tapes for like a penny?
No. That's
Okay.
time.
They would show up to my house with all the 8-tracks. And then, like, my dad's like, they'd call collection companies, like, your son owes $39. My dad's like, he's 8 years old. And then now I've evolved. I used to have the Ronco Stutter, Ronco Fisherman, Set It and Forget It. I would order all these late night TV things.
Okay.
And now I'm a sucker for in my Instagram feed and in my Facebook
so
feed.
the putty,
Yeah,
the car
of
putty is like one of
course.
them.
Are you kidding me? If you don't have gel or hairspray on, use gin. Oh, there you go. Oh,
In
here's
your
here's my
hair?
favorite genius uses for hand sanitizer. Here's my favorite one.
All right. Let's hear it.
By the way, Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical will love this one too.
Okay.
It says wipe down a public toilet seat. Before you sit down on a public toilet seat, squirt some hand sanitizer on a wad of toilet paper and wipe down the surface. This may help you overcome any squeamishness you have about sharing the seat with strangers.
Or hover so you don't touch.
Listen, I flush toilets with my feet. So that's just tell you all about me.
Yeah.
And the last time I used a public toilet for that was almost like non-existent, like an emergency. 911. Okay. Shout out to Buson's Appliance. Jared from Rockwood. What up, Jared? So no more hand sanitizer stuff, right? I had enough of that.
All right.
All right, so Sarah.
On to the next.
Yeah, so for everyone out there, Sarah is a real estate agent.
I am.
And you sell houses, and I just, you sell a lot of first-time buyers, and, you own a couple houses. So let's do, what people need to know when you own a house. This is just basic knowledge.
Okay.
Things you need to know. And by the way, anyone out there has a question, 248-539-9797. Text us. We'll give you a shout out. If you have a question, Google can answer. Sarah and I will give our best shot to answering it. And of course, we want to help. So here's the thing. Being a homeowner is rewarding, right?
I love it.
But there's also the responsibility
A lot.
of ownership. So
A lot.
here's a couple things that you need to know that I'm going to give you some tips on. And Sarah, you're going to let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you want to comment on it.
Okay, let's do it.
So when you own a house, did you know that if your water heater is leaking, it's almost like a time bomb? So think about this. You go into a house, you see the
I
water
have
heater.
heard this.
The water heater's next to the furnace, and you look on the floor and you always see like a rust stain or some dripping marks. You don't know if it's a condensate pump, if it's underneath the water heater or whatever, right? Well, water heaters sometimes leak from the drain valve or the relief valve, which is on the bottom of the water heater. And over time, the base of the water heater can rust out.
Now, is that like where the drip pan is?
Yeah, it's in around that area.
Okay.
But if it's leaking, you've got serious problems and you don't know about it. So we're gonna figure that out, because you need to call in a plumber or you need to drain it. We'll talk about that. But we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, friends, we're gonna be talking about home improvement tips and things you need to know when you're a homeowner. Yeah. My name's Adam Helfman with Sarah Sells. 97.1 The Ticket. There you go. So there we have it. So yeah, you're like that guy, the dad who, with the bulldogs. Everyone's got granite bulldog things, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
That's the best. I was the father who would like bring the food. You know what I'm saying? Like I could never coach. One time they asked me to coach. It was like the kids' baseball team. I'm like, all right, one time, I'll do this. And the first thing I did, I said to the boys, I'm like, listen, whatever we got to do, every time you get on first base, just run to second. We're stealing every time. I want everyone to cheer, and we're just going to have a great time. I swear I turned it upside down. And, of course, they stole. We lost. We got killed. But it didn't matter. is the last time I ever coached.
Randy's a pretty good coach. He gets really involved.
Well, he's a winner. Me, I was the dad who went to Pokemon tournaments with my kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
They called me the
Nothing wrong.
Pokey Daddy. Yeah, no, listen, my kid, again, he's doing just fine. We have no
Well,
issues.
as long as you're involved, that's all that matters.
There you have it. That was the best thing. I had so much fun. Listen, I still play video games, so it was like, this isn't fatherhood. This is fun.
Right.
Which is all good. But anyways, I need to digress. I'm sorry. So Hard Rock Stoneworks is partnered with Hire It Done. You guys are the leading granite, quartz, countertop, kitchen supplier in Metro Detroit. You're in many states now too, right?
Yeah, all over. I mean,
you go anywhere, won't you? Or
been down to Missouri this year, New York, Chicago, Indiana, Ohio, just pretty much everywhere. I think we're going to be out west coming up pretty quick here too.
it's amazing. So Randy, how do you measure how much granite you sell? Is it by square foot, pounds, slabs? Is there a number?
Yeah, we do square footage weekly. It's usually right around 10,000 square feet a week that we install.
Wow. So that's 10,000 times 52 is 520,000 square feet a year, right?
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
Man.
A lot
Put
of
it in
stone.
perspective, yeah, that's about 12 install trucks going out every day, 7 measure techs going out every day. So there's definitely a lot of stone going into some houses.
It's interesting. I have personal experience with you guys because we Hire It Done consults on a lot of renovation projects. And, of course, we bring the customers to you and we're like, all right, here's a customer. Here's a granite company. You can go anywhere you want, but this is one we've worked with. Take a look. And your process, they talk about successful things in home improvement, and we call them benchmarks, right? Your process is what we call benchmark, meaning other people try to aspire to what you do. And let's, Alyssa, because you're in the trenches every day at Hard Rock. Let's talk about the process. Homeowner comes in and picks out a slab. How does that work?
We do sell cabinets too, so as long as you are just buying countertops, as long as you purchase what we have in stock, we can get you on the template schedule within a couple days, and then we're 7 to 10 business days from your scheduled measure. So really, you can have new countertops in about 2 weeks. If you're doing new cabinets, a little bit longer.
Longer.
Yeah, I mean, most places I would say, are about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, our goal is 7 days, so...
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Sarah Sell's in the co-host seat this morning. Welcome back, Sarah.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
248-539-9797. You got a question this morning for Sarah or myself? We're here to help. We're talking about, if you're a homeowner, things you got to know just being a homeowner. We just had, at the break, whatchamacallit? Water heaters, if they're leaking, it's kind of like a time bomb, right?
Yeah.
Also, if you're a homeowner, to know that crime usually happens during the daytime. Daytime is crime time. Did you know that?
Well, it makes sense because nobody's home during the day.
Well, it used
Normally
to be true.
You're at work.
Right. So now most crimes happen in the daytime. They happen between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. So they're casing your house, and they're like, he leaves for work at 8. We'll get in at 9. We'll be out by 11.
You know what?
What?
I had somebody take a whole piece of butcher block countertop from one of my houses.
Oh,
my dad swears that it happened.
I believe it.
In the morning.
Here's another thing. Making your furnace last. You know what I'm saying? Like literally.
Yearly maintenance. I know that.
Well, here's the thing. Your house doesn't have an odometer, right? And when you have a car with an odometer every 7,500 miles, 3,500 miles, whatever, you change your oil.
A little sticker.
You're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have it for your house. Hire It Done, Sarah, is your odometer. So what we're going to tell you is furnaces need to be tuned up. Air conditioners need to be tuned up on an annual basis. Plus your air filter, air quality. Did you know that air inside your house is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air.
I
Did you know
believe that.
So if people have allergies today, it's because of that. So
Yeah.
maintaining your furnace by finding a really good furnace company, HVAC contractor,
Mhm.
and by the way, Hydrodone has some of the best. To make your furnace last, if you have the 1-inch air filter, you should change them every month.
Definitely.
So Sarah, when's the last time you changed your air filter?
Probably every month, and then I also use the standalone air filter units. But Adam, I'll have to talk to one of the HVAC guys about this. I just discovered that the wall unit I have in one of my bungalows,
Yep.
it doesn't have a filter,
Really?
so it's a problem. So
Well,
I
it's
brought
blowing
in.
dirty air.
So
You
I
gotta
brought
clean
in
it.
the standalone
Air filter.
air filters that are. It's just an old unit.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't. That's. Is anyone living in that house?
Yeah, there will be.
Okay. 248-539-9797. You have a question Google can't answer. You want to shout out if you're an essential worker or contractor. We'd love to say hi to you.
We would.
Here's one.
Okay.
My question is, I'm looking at homes today.
All right.
And I'm a first-time home buyer.
Congratulations.
It was a rushed decision because our current living situation. We are using Mishta, and we are offering a little over asking price, but looking for concessions in return to help with closing costs so we come out of pocket as minimal as possible. Any advice, Sarah?
So you need to make sure that your realtor knows how to be creative with your offer besides just going over asking price. So
Yep.
find out what the seller needs and wants, whether it's occupancy or maybe it has something to do with the inspection, not just what your purchase price is. And anytime we're dealing with concessions, especially in this market, we highly advise, yes, you do go over asking price to wash out, the
Concessions,
difference. Yeah.
So you can help. So if this
I would
homeowner
love
needs some
to.
help, would you be able to offer to him?
Yeah, please give me a call, 810-887-8119. Text or email me, sarahsellsmi@gmail.com.
sarahsellsmi@gmail.com.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. Here's a question. I'm in the middle of a basement remodel in which we are adding a bathroom. The contractor came back to us the other day with the added expense of an injection pump. I was under the assumption that the contract included that since it was an obvious thing to include. He claims that he thought he could use the existing sump pump and crock for the remodel, but the plumber told him otherwise. Does this make sense to you? Okay. So it might be, it depends. Here's the thing. The sewer line in the house
Yeah.
coming out might be higher than the floor of the basement.
Right.
If that's the case, and you have a bathroom in your basement, you need what's called a macerator and an injection pump, which means after you poo, the macerator is like a blender, and then it pumps it out, to the sewer line. I'm assuming that's what he means. So the question is if you weren't charged for it initially, then he has the right to say, hey, you got to pay for this. However, he should have known
That they need it.
Yeah. Now, that's based on the information I'm given. Without seeing it, it's another situation. So, legitimately, the contractor has it, but an experienced contractor could go down there and say, yeah, your sewer line's higher. We're going to have to put a macerator pump or an ejection pump or one of those. So, or it might be, according to Ron Alexander, it might be too shallow under the cement. That's another thing. So, but again, ask the contractor, say, listen, we're on a tight budget, can't afford that. Can you work with me? See what he says. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's one of those gray areas. Okay. So when you own a house and the power goes out, when you flush a toilet, what do?
Pour water.
So you have a well pump, or even if the city water's up, but
Yeah.
you pour water in the toilet.
You pour water in the toilet.
Right. That allows you to flush it. Just so you know.
Okay.
Homeowners need to know. They don't know sometimes when the power goes out and things like that. Now, everyone needs to know where their water meter is in
Yes.
your house. How to turn the water off.
We couldn't find it on a house last week.
Really? Was it hidden under a crawl space
It
behind
was.
a cabinet or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
They'd always have that. So you need to shut off. If you're going to go on vacation, it depends on the wintertime or not. Shut off the water before you go on vacation. I'm not a fan of that.
I'm not
I'm
either.
more of a leave
I'm
the water
surprised.
running slowly.
Yeah.
But you never know. But you need to locate your main water shut off. It's always something to do. Now, remember, you got their meter,
Yeah.
and then you have to shut off before and after the meter.
Yes.
So
I do know about that.
Now, a lot of times those shutoffs don't work, and it's always good once in a while to test it. Or if not, just call Shelby Mechanical, one of our plumbers. He'll come out and say, yeah, here's what we do to figure it out. Now, have you ever figured out how to do your property lines?
No, I would always have a surveyor come out to do that.
Right. And then you need to find them and then put something obvious.
The iron or the flag.
But then take a picture.
So you know.
But here's the thing. Email yourself the picture.
So you have it.
And it's for there forever. It's the best way to do it.
Great tip.
248-539-9797. I have a tube installed that brings fresh air from the outside, cut directly into my furnace to ensure fresh air flow. Makes a huge difference, especially in older homes.
Wow. That's a great tip.
It's called makeup air. So,
Okay.
or scuttle. A lot of times when a furnace combusts, meaning the gas goes on and then it flame, it needs oxygen to burn.
Right.
So what that does is when you have return air in your house, that's what sucks it in. But if you mix the return air with fresh air, the combustion's more efficient and it's better for your furnace and then it's better for the house. However, now you have to balance that with proper filtration. And the right filtration, which is your air filter.
The filter.
Right. But there's a couple levels of that. We'll talk about that in another show.
Okay.
Because there's the rated by, it's called a MERV rating, MERV. Minimum efficiency something value. Blah, blah, blah. I'll get it one day. But my whole thing is that the MERV rating is what makes the filters better. And then you have the 1 inch, and then the 4 inch, and then 5 inch, and then you have electronic. In my opinion, the pleated filter is the best way to go.
Does the job.
Of course. Okay. 248-539-9797. Sarah and I are on the show. Shelly Steele says, what up? Greg Grapsidis is, what? You'd never use a sump pump? Well, sump pump, you can't, not with disposal waste. So owning a house, how about soap scum? Did you ever think that?
Well, I try and use more natural products when it comes to cleaners and soaps. So, yeah.
What's the? I read this here. It says synthetic soap. I don't even know what the heck that is.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm not even going to worry about it. How about caulk? Did you ever use caulk in your house?
Yeah, but not properly.
You can't caulk over caulk. You know that, right?
Well, I do now.
You got to scrape the caulk out, then caulk.
Yeah.
Even around, forget inside a house, all around your house. I hate when I see it outside windows where there's wood and brick and they caulk it.
Yeah.
And then someone caulks over it.
It looks
the best
like gingerbread icing.
Yeah, you cannot caulk over caulk, friends. Okay.
You know what my favorite thing to use is, and it's not caulk, it's the spray foam.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you use
it? It's so
it?
fun. Well, I used it wherever there was spaces that needed to be filled in, wherever drafts were coming in.
Okay, there's a couple of things. There's low expanding foam, and then there's expanding foam. When you use the spray foam around windows, you need to use low expanding. You know why?
Yeah, because it expands like 5 inches out, and then I had to cut it all off.
Well, it expands, but the thing is, it puts pressure against the window, and then you can't open and close.
Yeah.
So for everyone out there, you need to know that.
Don't do what I did.
Right? So that's important. How about your breaker panel, electrical? Don't trust it. Let me just say, if you have a house that has the breaker panels.
With the label?
Yeah, but make sure you confirm it. So if it says kitchen lights.
Make sure it is the kitchen.
Right. Yeah. Especially when you're doing electrical, which we always say, don't do it yourself on electrical.
No.
Galvanized pipes get plugged. It's like arteries. They get plugged. So anyways, Sarah.
It's already done.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in. What a great show today. You can always go to hireitdone.com, click on Ask Adam if you have a question. We appreciate and we're grateful for you guys.
Thank you for listening.
This is Hire It Done. We'll see you next week.